Hello, this is SolidCAD and today we are working again on Catia. This time we are making assignment 6 of the reader from TU Delft. So today we are making a rib for our airplane door. This is a rib, this is our final product that we want to make. Before we can start, you have to download a part file of Catia that you can find in a description box. So let's open this file. Let me see, it is AE111206. Open. Just close this warning window, it doesn't matter. Okay, this is our file. So this is the pre-made stuff that we are working on. So before we start, we are inserting an axis system because these planes are pretty confusing if it's about making directions in an object, like we have to make a flange towards the x-axis and we don't see any x-axis here. Yeah, okay, we see it here in the corner, but let's insert an axis system. Down here we have axis system. Just click on it and then you have it. Use the defaults. And that's it. We can hide our planes. Just select all the planes and right click hide. Beautiful. So now we can do our object. First we start with the YZ plane and make a sketch on it. So we are making just a single point. Place a point under the x-axis somewhere, like here, and make constraints for the distance of the y-axis and the distance of the x-axis. The point has to be below the x-axis. Okay, it has to be 1510 millimeters to the right of the y-axis and 750 millimeters from below the x-axis, like this. So it is in the middle of this circle here. This is the point. Okay, then we can leave the sketch and click again on YZ plane and make another sketch. This is sketch 3. Sketch 3. Okay, now we are making an axis. On the right side you find the two axes and just place it below the x-axis like this. Never mind how big it is. And then we select the point to double click it so you don't have to click it again. And place the first point at the top of your axis. So it's constant with the last point. As you can see, the indication, the blue circle to the left of my cursor. Click it. Also at the other end of the axis. Click it. And 2 points on the axis. Like this. So we have in total 4 points on the axis. Now we are making constraints for it. So the first constraint is first we drag it up a little bit. Select everything from your axis, drag it a little bit up so your first point is over the x-axis. So first we make a constraint for the first point and x-axis. This has to be 60 millimeters. The second constraint is the distance between y-axis and your point, the first point. This has to be 1550 millimeters. This. Next constraint is distance from y-axis and the last point of your axis that we've created. It has to be 1475 millimeters. Now we need a distance for our points. So we zoom in a little bit and select the last point and the point next to it and make a constraint, and the same for the other points. So select again the point, the other point next to it, and for the last one also the distance. So we have in total 3 distance constraints. Every constraint has to be 350 millimeters. So in the end, the point should be in the middle of our circus. Here you also can see it, it's in the middle, and it is here, it is on the plane. Okay, we can leave the sketch, that's alright. Now we can continue with our corners. We are making little corners at these, I don't know, where our flange hole are coming. So here we have to make corners. Select the corner tool from the right toolbar and use as radians 10 millimeters. Now we select all our edges. So we have to, let's start at the right side so it gets easier. Yeah, so we have to select this edge. Let's zoom a little bit. This edge. This one. Also this one. And of course the opposite side of our edges where we have done it. So turn the object and go again from this one to this one to this one. These are all. In total, it should be 6 edges. Just click OK, and then we see we have made some little edges. Next step is making flange again. So we select the flange tool. Double click it so you don't have to click it again. And now we have to flange our sides towards the x-axis. So that's why we have made the axis system. We also can see it here. We have to make it up. So the edges are going up, like here, also up. So we zoom in, select the lower edge. So as you can see, this is Y direction, Z direction, and up is X direction. So towards the x-axis in positive direction. So select the lower edge and also the other edges, like this. And we have to make a length of 10 millimeters, angle 90 degrees, and radius is 2 millimeters. In total 5 edges for this side. Click OK. And then we can move on to this edge. Select everything, click OK. The reason why I'm doing it like this, if we select this edge and also all the other edges, for example this one, it disappears. It's not possible to make. Click OK, it's error. So make it step by step. So first this one, click OK, then this one. That's why you also have to double click, because then you don't have to click every time here when you make a flange. Here we can select all the edges, that's no problem. And now we also can use click on this edge. There's also a faster way to make it. For example, you can like make it propagate, but to show you how it works, I prefer to use this method, so it's easier to follow, because otherwise it would go too fast and you also can make mistakes. Okay, but when it's about saving time, use the propagate to option. Okay, and this is our second last. There's the last one. Okay, click OK. Close it. Cancel. There we have it. Next step is making flanged holes. So we are going to sketch 1, I think. No, sketch 2. Selecting sketch 2. It is this point. So as in the last assignment, we are selecting our point, selecting the flange hole tool on the right side, and then selecting the face where we want to make the flange hole. So we want to make it on the other side. So we have to turn it. We want to make it on the top. So click it. Now we have a height of 4 millimeters, radius 2 millimeters, angle 90 degrees, and diameter 10 millimeter. So like this. And then click OK. Now we have to do flange holes for the other points. Here, 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 and also here. To save time and not to make a flange hole for every point, like clicking on the point, clicking on the flange tool, clicking on the face, and again for 5 points. We are making it pretty easy. So we are just selecting our flange hole that we have just created, click on it in the tree, and then we are clicking on this tool, user pattern. You find it more down here, so you have to drag out some tools, as I told you in the last assignment. And it's in drop-down menu. you see a rectangle pattern, then you have to click on the drop down menu and selecting this. Okay, as a position, we are using our sketch 3. That's all. So we are selecting the flange hole. I do it again. Selecting the flange hole that we have created. Selecting user pattern. And then selecting sketch 3. And click OK. And there we have it, our flange holes in just 1 second. Okay, for the next step, we have to switch workbenches. So click on Start, Shape, and Generative Shape Design. Here we are doing some stuff with our pre-made lines that we have downloaded. So we are selecting one line, for example, this one, and we are making an extract. We are extracting this line. So, so we are going down here to extract. Normally you just see boundary, and then you have to click on the drop down menu and then click extract. We're extracting this tangent continuity and selecting isolated edge 1. So you also can select this one or this one, but I prefer to select this one, so it works. Click OK. Then, well, I made a mistake. Undo selection, extract. Before we are doing this, we have to click on the geometrical set and right click, define a work object. Because now I was working in the part body. The part body is this one. This is wrong. We are not working on this. We are working on our lines. So let's do it in the geometrical set. Pretty important before you do something. Check if you're in correct, if you are working the right workbench and all the stuff area. So right click on the geometrical set and define a work object, and then we can do it. We select the isolated curve, one edge of it, and making the extract again. And tangent continuity, there it's green, a green line, and click OK. Now it's good. Now we have in the geometrical set our extract. If you don't have a geometrical set, you can insert one here. Okay, now we are making a parallel curve. So we are selecting our extract and making it parallel with an offset. So we want to have it in the middle. This should be a constant of 49 millimeters. Let's check it. Yeah, it's directly in the middle. Let me check it here. It's 49, yeah. If it's on the left side for some reason, in your case, then just click on reverse direction. Not reverse direction, yeah. Or both repeat object, no, both sides. Reverse direction, then it switches to the right side if it's on the left side. Click OK. Beautiful, there we have it. Now we are making points on our parallel curve because we also want to do flanged holes in the middle of this curve. That's why we are doing this. So select the point tool, it's on the right side, and now we have to change the point type to on curve and selecting our curve that we have created, the parallel curve. And the length have to be 160 millimeters. So it has to be away from this line 160 millimeters. Click OK. First click repeat object before you click OK. And then another window pops up. And then we want to make 7 holes in total. So type in instances 7. And instances 7. And then we change instances to instance and spacing, because we also want space between all points. So we have 7 points and with a spacing of, let me see, 160 millimeters. So let's preview, and there we have 7 holes. This is not, this is correct. Let me check it. I think I made a mistake. So we have 160 there, and then we should make, so 7 holes and space 250 millimeters. Preview, and this looks way better. Okay, then click OK, and there we have it. Now we are making another sketch on YZ plane. Let's select the YZ plane, and we making the whole all our points that we have created on the sketch. So we are selecting our 3D project 3D elements, double click it so we don't have to click it again, and then click on all our points that we have created. So they pop up yellow in our sketch now. This means that we have copied it on the sketch. Now the last point, and there we have it, leave the sketch. And now our sketch 12, we have all the points. Now we have to switch back to our other workbench, the generative sheet metal design. And we are making our flange holes again. So select one point, make flange hole, and select the upper face. Then we want to make the flange hole with a height of 6 millimeters. The angle is now 55 degrees and diameter is 60 millimeters. So we click on preview and it looks beautiful. We click OK. Now we select again our flange hole that we have created and make again a user pattern. So we are selecting for the positions our sketch 12 and click OK. And then we have just copied our flanged hole over all our points. So we don't have to do it manually. That's all. Now we can unfold it and look, how it looks unfolded. And we also can add a material. So we select again our part body and click on aluminum, apply material, click OK. What have I done? Undo, hide and show, shading with material, and then we finished it. So that's all for this assignment, and we'll see us again in assignment 7. And if you have any questions, just comment right below in the comment box. Thank you.